Hi, I'm Daniel Fisher, Director of Product Optimization here at Sweetwater Sound, and today I'm very excited to show you the electro-harmonix Superego. This is a really bizarre pedal. It's called a synth engine, and it'll take your guitar to places you've never taken it before, but it'll also work on keyboards, vocals, horns, anything really that you can get the signal into a 1/4 inch input on this thing. You can start adding Superego effect to it. What it is, basically, it's a freeze pedal, but it's also a glide pedal, and it's a layering pedal, and it does a lot of these different effects simultaneously. And it has 3 modes. It has a latch mode, where one at a time you can just keep adding more sounds to this freeze sound. It has a momentary mode, where just anytime you step on the pedal, it'll grab what you have and hold it till you let go of the pedal. And then there's my favorite mode, which is called auto, and it just senses every time you play something different, it then gets rid of the old 1/4 note and moves to the new 1/4 note. And it has, unlike the freeze pedal or the electro-harmonix Hog, which kind of started this whole freeze thing, this one has a send and return, so that my glide effect or my freeze effect can have its own separate effects section. Another cool side effect of that is if you take the return and unplug it, you can send your Superego sound to an entirely different amp or a different system without having it to go through your main guitar system. So that's pretty neat. And so what I have here to add to the Superego, I have a Stereo Polychorus and a stereo memory man with Hazarai. And I'm using the Polychorus through the send and return so that the chorus is only on the stuff that's being frozen. And the memory man is actually processing both things. And I'm using my favorite little stereo setup here, which is my Super Champ X2. Both I have the combo and I have the head and cabinet version. And I stack them like this because it allows me to do lots of really neat stereo effects from one location, and I can put the other guitar cabinet at the other end of the stage, and I get this enormous stereo field that's very easy to manipulate from one location. But it is on channel 1. Both of them are on channel 1, which is just a very plain, dry sound. So none of the effects that you're hearing are coming from that amp, although it does have a lot of effects in it. So the first thing I'll show you is a layer mode. And normally you'd step on it with your foot, which makes it a lot easier, but I'm going to do it by hand so you can see it. And so if I have a note going and step on that pedal, it'll grab that note. And as soon as you let go, you can play over it. And if you press it again with some new note, it adds that to it. In fact, you could keep stacking all day. Now, to make that a little prettier, I'm going to turn on the Polychorus, and it'll only go to the effect of the freeze. And you'll hear that this is still dry. And a double tap turns the whole thing off. Here's another mode. This is momentary mode. So anytime I play something and then step on it, oops, but don't let go like that. Let me try again. It'll just hold it, and then when I let go, it fades away at the speed of this first knob. So I can have things fade in, let go of the pedal, they fade out, or I could make it happen very quickly. It's there, I let go, it's off. So this knob does 2 things. In the layer mode, it allows you to stack layers at different volumes. In the momentary mode, it determines how fast the sound comes up and then fades away when you let go. The third mode, though, this is my favorite. This is the auto mode. And what it does is it simply waits until you cross a volume threshold, and it turns the effect on once you play it loud enough. So here I'm going to just lock in a chord. And if I play a new chord, now I turn on the gliss. And what it's going to do is each time I play a new note or a new chord, it's going to slowly glide from the old note or chord to the new note or chord. And I'll throw a little delay on as well, and just show you how trippy this can get. I'm going to turn the dry dry part completely off and only go with effects. And at this point, I think a better name instead of Super Ego, this would be a great Super Eno pedal, because it's just awesome for this ambient stuff. And so I'm going to just start playing some power chords and moving it around, and you'll hear right away you could do an entire soundtrack with this thing. Double click turns it off, and the fade time is determined again by that first knob. So you can do some really musical things with this. And so now what I thought, I'd show you the same thing but with keyboards. So I'm going to put my guitar away. Okay, so now I have the keyboard plugged in. Basically, I'm just taking the output right into the same place, and I have everything switched off. Again, you're hearing that everything's just basically dry. And turn this on, and I'm going to make it completely effect. I'm going to turn the dry completely off, and I'm going to just start gliding chords from the keyboard. Now add some chorus into the send and return, a little bit of delay. Now there are so many more things you can do with this pedal. You could put a tremolo into the send and return and have all of these held chords pulsing at a rhythm. You could put echo into that instead of at the end of the chain. You could put filters into it. You could put, one of the things that sounds great there is pitch shifters, so that your sound that's being frozen has multiple octaves, or it's coming back at a fifth, different from what you're playing. This is one of these pedals that everybody who gets is going to figure out something different to do with it. And I think everybody could use this pedal. It's a really cool pedal. Anyway, if you have any further questions, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. My name is Daniel Fisher. Thank you very much for listening.